But we're turning our attentions now to creative things, the arts, and what's happening in terms of music, film, visual arts, much more besides within Clare. And who better to take us through all that than the County Arts Officer, Siobhán Mulcahy. Siobhán, how are you?
Not too bad at all, Alan.
Thanks very much for popping into studio. Look, plenty for you to let the Morning Focus listeners know about. We're going to start with visual arts and an AI photography webinar.
Yes.
There's usually suspicion of AI in terms of, musicians decrying the death of music and so on. But how is it connected to this photography webinar?
Yes, so as part of our programme in the Arts Office, a lot of what we do is around professional development for artists and supporting artists. So we have a webinar coming up tomorrow with Visual Artists Ireland, and the webinar is free. We've joined together with the Arts Offices in Limerick and Tipperary as well, so artists from those three counties can attend this for free. But AI is very current and topical, as you know, so it's a really interesting one. So it's called Image, Data and Reality, a photographer's critical engagement with AI. So it's going to be led by Jilan Long, who's a Chinese lens-based visual artist who's based here in Ireland, who has used AI in some of her work. So she's going to be looking at using AI as a tool, looking at it in terms of the ethics around it, in terms of what it should be used for, what it should not be used for.
Establishing the kind of the line.
The line, exactly. And looking at how it has impacted her work in terms of photography and lens-based work. So I think for any photographers or anybody who's working with digital media or anything in that field at all, it certainly, I think, would be something that would be of interest. Probably will pose more questions than answers, but would help artists maybe reflect on, if they're using it, how they potentially can use it in their own work or in the creation of new work. So so looking forward to that. I think it'll be an interesting discussion.
Okay, very interesting. The next one is an exhibition in Ennis. Now, it's either a cultural exhibition for Polish people or it's an exhibition sponsored by Mr. Sheen, a Polish exhibition, but I suspect it's the former rather than the latter.
It is. It's an exhibition by Polish artists, but not necessarily just for Polish people. So this is an exhibition that's taking place in the Clare Museum, and it's running until the end of the week, and it's featuring Gosia Kamnieka and Anna Kaprich. And Anna actually exhibited in the museum last year again. She's a visual artist and art curator, and photography is her practice. Gosia then, she does drawings and abstract drawings as well. So these two ladies have come together to show their work, and as I say, it's Anna's second exhibition. It's Gosia's first one here in the museum, but she has exhibited in Clare previously. She's a graduate from formerly GMIT or Atlantic Technology University as they call it now, but she's also shown in Soule and in the Courthouse Gallery in Ennistimon, and so that's running until the end of the week if anybody's interested in that. And there's a lovely exhibition happening out in Scariff as well called Generations, which is bringing together the work of Deirdre Grimes, who's a painter, and her daughter Evelyn, who's a ceramicist. And we saw something like this a few months ago in Ennistimon again with Sarah Fuller and her daughters who exhibited together. So it's kind of thematic, I think, at the moment as well. So it's a case of bringing, I suppose, this creative family together, very different artworks, but sharing maybe, some common themes, or how maybe mum has influenced daughter and vice versa as well.
Passing on the talents down through the generations.
Indeed, yeah.
Okay, what else is happening?
And just, I suppose, staying with ceramics as well, the wonderful Hannah Arnott is going to be holding the Clare Potters Market on this weekend at Ballymorris Pottery in Cratloe. So this is it's become an annual event at this stage, showcasing the work that they're doing out in Ballymorris, but also it'll be joined by the Limerick ceramic artists who are going to be exhibiting as well. So it has almost become this exhibition hub for some of the best ceramics that's being created in the Midwest. So all are welcome. It's taking place from 11 to 5 on this weekend out in Ballymorris Pottery.
Okay, so plenty happening in terms of visual art, and would you believe it, there's lots happening in terms of music in Clare, as there always is. See, Martin Hayes is playing more on that in just a bit, but you're starting with the Riches of Clare.
Yes, so the Riches of Clare, we started last Wednesday in Glore, and we've had a wonderful week in St. Columba's for the Flanua. So back to Glore, and coming up this Wednesday from 1 to 2, the free concert concert will be led by Aidan McMahon, who'll be joined by Maeve Donnelly, Deirdre Moynihan and Michael Landers. And then the following Wednesday we have James Devitt, who'll be joined by Conor McCarthy, Yvonne McCarthy and Martin Breen. So wonderful lineup, the very, very best of traditional music taking place there. And as you say, Martin Hayes is going to be performing out in Scariff. And this is a fundraiser for the purchase fund for the Scariff Co-op building. So he's going to be performing on Thursday evening, June the 11th, at the Sacred Heart Church in Scariff. So the tickets are available through the East Clare Co-op website. I would say book early. This is one I'd imagine that's going to be very popular.
It's quite popular right here.
Indeed. So to go onto the website to get the tickets there. Doolin, all roads
Speaking
lead
of
to Doolin.
popular, the Doolin Folk Festival.
The Doolin Folk Festival is back this weekend as well. Not sure if there are any tickets available, but regardless of tickets and being able to get to some of the concerts, it's just a wonderful weekend up there. It really is. And it brings together such amazing musicians as well. So Mick Flannery and Susan O'Neill will be there, Cormac Begley, Tara Breen, Conan O'Kane, Dermot Sheedy. Like there's just so many, and it's lovely to see the mix of local artists as well as some of the top artists in the country all descending on this tiny little village in North Clare, you know. So the Folk Festival is running for this weekend. So as I say, that's the place to be. The following weekend then, Saturday, June the 20th, there's a Roots Festival taking place out at the East Clare Community Co-op, which we had mentioned earlier. And this is going to be running all day. A huge amount of live music. There'll be free workshops. There'll be food trucks. So lots and lots happening there. There will be DJs. There will be bands. The Wild Goat Trio will be there. Irish song workshops. There'll be herb walks, laughter yoga. So a mix again of activities taking place out there in East Clare. So lots and lots happening. And then finally, just to say that there'll be a fundraising social dance taking place in Age of Hospice Jinja out in Uganda, and this is going to be taking place at Tracy's West County on Friday evening from 9 until 11:30. So for anybody who fancies a bit of a jive or a bit of a bop to go along, all in a good cause.
Fantastic. And John O'Connor was actually only in with us earlier on in the show and flagged that up as well. So it sounds like it'll be a good occasion. And just finally, Siobhán, then Youth Theatre, Clare. So
yes, our Clare Youth Theatre have been working steadily throughout the year, and the Ennis group is going to be performing in Glore on Monday the June 15th. So this is our junior group, aged from about 9 through to 12, primary school children. And what's brilliant about this is that the group actually devise and write the play themselves. So it's all coming from the young people's imagination, facilitated by their wonderful leader, Jessica Curtin. And this particular one is called Room 666. And it's when two rival U2 groups get stranded in a creepy hotel. Their fun overnight challenge turns into a chaotic mystery. So anybody who's interested in seeing these amazingly talented children and the work and the imagination that they come up with are very welcome to come along. And that's on Monday, June 15th. There'll be 2 showings to accommodate the crowd. So so all going well for them.
Great to see young people being so creative. Plenty there happening as ever. Siobhán, thank you very much.
Thanks, Alan.
For filling us in on all of that. That's the County Arts Officer, Siobhán Mulcahy, with us on Monday's Morning Focus.